Hey everybody, Hernke here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, Herbalife personal wellness coach, Marilyn Mejia.
Thank you.
Marilyn, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, how did you get started in Herbalife? What introduced you to it?
It was quite ironic. I was a naysayer for more than 7 years. Having the product at home, my mother was a consumer of it since I was 9. I didn't like it. I abhorred anything that had to do with nutrition, anything that had to do with health, because I was pre-diabetic and I was in childhood obesity by the time I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So it came about that I had family members that came from Honduras and they were in love with the product. And I had no clue why. I didn't see the purpose behind it. And it turns out that in the first month, my cousin's husband dropped 10 pounds, was feeling great, was having energy, and was doing all types of activities all day. And I didn't understand it. So out of jealousy as a daughter of the attention that my mom was giving to my relatives that were enjoying everything that they were doing, like, maybe I should try this. So it just came about being the irony of not being motivated or even inspired to start, but rather the jealousy of a daughter to trying to see maybe I can get her attention too by doing this. So that's how I began. And at 16, I started the product. Within the first 3 months, I was down 20 pounds. And it all began from there. I started my business part-time around school, and it's just been a wonderful journey. So now it's been 6 years and counting.
Whoa,
yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Do you have like any testimonies from people that you've helped out?
Yeah,
with the
most
products?
definitely. Most recently, I have a young gentleman who is actually a really good friend of mine. He's going into the Marines this upcoming September, and he's training to lose, if I'm not mistaken, we're down 25 pounds, and the goal weight is to make him be able to do 10 or more pull-ups so that he's strong enough to be able to qualify for the Marine benchmark. So that's on the road to that. Yeah, he's at 4 right now, so we're working up towards it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So what kind of things do you offer for diet? And, you know, I know a lot of people have like sugar cravings. Is there any sugar craving substitutes that you guys offer too?
So what we tailor in particular is so that we're eating throughout the day. And in terms of any type of weight management program, which is what I do cater for, and about 90% of my clientele looks to lose weight, we make sure that they're having balanced meals, and we're ensuring that they're having a Herbalife Healthy Meal Replacement, which has all the macro and micronutrients that are necessary for the person to have results without creating a deficiency in the nutrition. And that's something that we see a lot in the typical market when we're looking for any type of diet. We cut calories, but at the same time we're cutting out all of the essential nutrients that give us that vitality and give us that energy. So the very first thing that I do is ask, how busy are you? What does your day-to-day schedule look like? And how can we work around it so that you're eating anywhere from 5 to 6 times a day?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's in my line of work. I eat almost 4 times a day because a show just keeps feeding us. You know, we have a hot breakfast, then we have a snack, and then we have a lunch, and then they bring in another hot snack. Sometimes I have to pass like all of them. I can't eat it all because it's just too much food.
Right, and it would seem like 5 to 6 meals, that's a lot. But it all has to do with portion control.
Right.
And beyond that, what are those snacks? What are those meals? Because if the first meal filled you up to the point where you don't want to look at food for the next 6 hours,
yeah, then
maybe we need to cut back on what that food is and really tailor it to have a bit more veggies, maybe a bit more protein, and a bit more of fibrous carbs as well.
Yeah, chicken quesadilla in the morning.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
That would do it, yeah.
Chicken quesadilla, pastries, and all that good stuff. Now, over time, like, do you think this would have been a lot harder without any social media? Because back in, like, 2002, that really wasn't around, and now everything is relying on social media, and I'm sure that you have to do a lot of that when you're doing your promoting and things like that. Tell me a little bit about that.
You would believe so, but Herbalife has been around way before I was even born. It's been, right now in March this upcoming year, it's going to be 40 years in business. So before the cell phones existed, before fax existed, before any of that existed, Herbalife was around. And it was being very prosperous. Within the first 10 years, we were already within well over the millions in sales every single year, projected sales. So it's been great because technology has only really come to be of the aid to us to be able to not have a circle of influence that's only within our city, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
but worldwide, where the reach has no barrier, has no country. So it's wonderful because I get to reach out with people that I might not even understand their language, but because of Google Translate, thank you,
There you
I
go.
get to talk to them and I get to create business with them. Yeah.
So back when it got started, it was all basically this word of mouth.
Yeah, word
Yeah.
of mouth. And it continues to be very strongly based on word of mouth because there's no way that you can begin Herbalife unless a distributor offers it to you.
Yeah.
And you can't get the product unless a distributor sells it to you.
Okay. Do you have a lot of people that are really, really interested and they flake out on you and stuff like that? Like, how do you handle it? Because that drives me crazy when that happens. It's like, just give me an answer straight up. Do you want it, yes or no? Don't lead me on for a while. Do you deal with that a lot?
It happens, most definitely. I mean, if you think about it, we're the same as consumers.
Yeah.
You know, we go to a store, you pick up an item, and you walk the whole store with that item.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you check out, you take it out.
Yeah.
Have you done that before? Right.
Oh, yeah,
I've
it's
done
like
that
that.
before.
I tell the cashier I don't want that anymore.
Yeah, right. So it's the same thing in terms of how I handle business, and it happens. People see the menu, they see what they like, and at the very last minute they're like, but maybe not. And it happens. But it's just the law of averages. Out of every 10 people that I speak to, 1 to 2 are certainly going to say yes. The other 8 can be maybes or no's. That's just how I'm able to manage it and not get stressed about it because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your biggest way to get yourself out there? Because I noticed on your Instagram you post like all these little vignettes and videos. Do you have any other platforms you use to reach out to people?
Well, I use a lot of direct contact, and
Mhm.
that's my main strategy. So in the direct contact, I'm out in the community 4 to 6 hours daily, and I'm making myself known at face value to those people that I'm prospecting. Based off of that is how I get that connection through Instagram. So I
Okay.
don't just allow it to be that cold, what we call cold market, which is the unknown in terms of following and unfollowing on Instagram. I do that every single day with people out in the community, wherever I am. So that's how we began, and that's my strong base. I love it because in terms of how we are as people, that human, physical, person-to-person connection is always going to be, first and foremost, what's going to, what I would say in Spanish, hook you.
Right.
Rather than having to wait to create that connection through multiple conversations on any social media platform.
Mm-hmm. Do you are you on LinkedIn at all? Have you looked at that?
I'm not, honestly, I'm very uneducated on LinkedIn. Yeah, so that would be something that I would have to go and investigate and educate myself on.
It's kind of like the Facebook for business professionals, and
Okay.
I find it very handy when I, like with my YouTube channel, I post all of my interviews on there, and that one, our interview will be posted on my LinkedIn, and I find more people are connecting with me that way and reaching out like, hey, I just watched your video, so if it's an option you want to explore something, LinkedIn is a good platform to be on, and you put your picture up and what you do and all your links, and it's just, yeah, it's a Facebook page for professionals pretty much.
Okay, wonderful,
Yeah. Is there any products that you personally like the most and you'll have every single day, no matter what?
Yeah, so since beginning, I experimented a lot with the product. I began with just a basic program for weight loss, but the product that I cannot leave every single day is a chai herbal tea that we have. Oh my goodness, that blend of tea is amazing because it gives me the right dose of caffeine for me to keep up 22 hours daily when I'm on the go, and I have no crash. It's only 5 calories, it's 0 sugar, so for me it's a go-to. As it is, I have some more in the car.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So do any of your products, do they cause people to crash at all, or does it just keep going? Because I've noticed that a couple of things I've tried, it'll last for a little while and then I'll have a peak. Do any of these products do that, or does it just keep you going all the time?
No, see, because the product is based in herbs and plants,
Mm-hmm.
what we have the affordability to do is that the quality of standard is there. So there's no crashing, there's no peaking. The thing is that once your body uses the caffeine and you metabolize everything, you'll just feel, okay, the energy it's normal. Rather than, okay, we're on, let's go, I can go 90 miles an hour right now. So that for me personally, that's how I feel physically, and that's how a lot of my clients have felt as well.
Oh,
so
good.
they, before using Herbalife, and any of the energizing products that we have, we're big on energy drinks. And they'd be like, it's scary because they feel so jittery and so out of state of mind that they stopped consuming it, because rather than getting the energy that they were looking for, they were getting other side effects that were not in relation to what they were looking for. Yeah.
Do you have any soda substitutes at all?
We don't, but we have, within those great energizing drinks, we have a great array of beverages and flavors. Just to name a few, we have a Liftoff that's in orange and pomegranate berry that fizz like Alka-Seltzer and taste amazing, and those give an amazing amount of energy. Beyond that, we have the teas that come in 7 different flavors, whether you're looking for a raspberry, a lemon, a peach, no flavor.
Do you have English breakfast? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
We have the healthy meal replacements. So that would be your English muffin, most definitely. And that's great because, as it is, if you really think about it, when we look at astronauts, all their food is dehydrated.
Yeah.
They're eating the food, quote unquote, of the future. And our food is dehydrated. We add water, we have a shake, and it replenishes us and gives us enough substance to be able to be full for 3 hours or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, which is wonderful. And I love it. It's thoughtless. I get a blender or I get a shaker cup, I add some water, some ice cubes, I let it blend, and that's it.
There you go. Just like on your Instagram stories.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
I love it. Going back to the energy drinks, I know that, I don't drink Red Bull or Monsters because I know that stuff is really bad for you, especially for your kidneys too. So, having an alternative like yours is good to have, especially for the vital organs in your body. So,
yeah.
Going forward this year and beyond, do you have any goals or aspirations that you want to reach?
Yeah. As it is, I'm building a team that's also doing Herbalife with me, and our goal is to be able to reach into the community so that we have over 100 members with us also doing the business. And that is the goal within the next 2 years. As it is, from last month to now, there's another 5 members that were started and that began their business with us. So it's been great because the opportunity of offering good health to others is always open. It's always necessary. As it is, every single day there's more people being born than dying. And sadly but true, out of every 10 American people, there's 7 of us that have some type of background, whether by genes or by habits, that is going to lead a tendency into illnesses because of the way that we're eating. So the market for health is always there. And that is just, for me, something super solidified within myself, because I was that statistic. I was that child that had parents that had the greatest intentions, with family members that were always very attentive, but they didn't have the means to or the education to be able to provide that healthy way of life so that I would be able to be healthy as a child and a teenager. So that's what I'm able to provide for others as well. And the message behind it is, there's just in the LA County over 1 million people. So being able to help just that 1% is the payoff. Yeah. That's
awesome. You got to surround yourself with the right people that are going to help you do that and encourage you and build you up and have the same goals and aspirations that you have as well.
Most definitely.
Do you have any advice that you would like to give to our viewers if they want to get started in Herbalife or be a personal wellness coach? Anything you'd like to tell them?
Yeah, of course. The biggest thing that I had to learn was to be coachable. I was the very silent but bratty teenager when I was coming into the business, and rather than taking things at face value, I questioned everything. Where my mentors, all they wanted was the best for me. So be coachable, and if you're going to do any type of MLM business that does personalize in health and wellness, most definitely be a product of the product. You want to know what it is that you're going to be recommending, because if you're not feeling 100% on what you're recommending, then people are going to see it completely. It's transparency. And beyond that, it's having a vision for more than 1 or 2 year term goals, because MLM is wonderful, but you have to think of the long-term recompense rather than the immediate payoff. And that's what I've had to develop, and it's been a wonderful journey thanks to that. Yeah.
Right on. Well said.
Thank you.
Marilyn, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it. Please support Marilyn in her career. All the links for her products will be in the description below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button below for more interviews, more Disneyland stuff, more food reviews, all that good stuff coming up. This is Hans and Marilyn signing off.
Bye.